your host, P. Dallas. Welcome to the Piece of Music Podcast. I'm your host, Pete Ellis, and with me today, I've got from Rock to Soul Radio, Matt Williams. How you doing, sir?
Fantastic, man. Thanks for having me on today.
And thank you for being on. So, what's new with you?
Well, we were talking a little bit, kind of looking at getting into Rock Soul Radio 2.0 at this point. The last time we talked, we're doing a lot of open mic broadcasts and trying to get into the grassroots stuff, and we're really trying to break out now to doing more big concert stuff along the Berwyn's Beltway and getting into more of the Berwyn bars and maybe even eventually get into some of the Chicago bars too.
Very cool. So I met this guy at the Friendly Tap in Berwyn. A very great place. I recommend you go check it out. And this guy recorded artists who would come out to the open mics. So just one of many awesome people who are in the music scene doing things behind the scenes and doing things all over the place. So check out his stuff at Rock the Soul Radio. Where can they find that out?
RockSoulRadio.com. RockDSoul radio.com.
Awesome. So tell me, how did you get started doing that stuff?
I've always had kind of a dream of being on the radio. I had a few opportunities in my younger days to actually go on the radio or local radio stations when I was a chef at different establishments and kind of talk to the DJs and stuff like that. And it really hooked with me. And kind of with the dawn of internet radio, anybody can be a DJ at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I started getting in and messing around with like Live 365 and that, and kind of just playing whatever kind of playlist I wanted to play, and started to lose myself in having fun with the radio, but also realizing that there were 100,000 other people out there just like me, just playing their music set, and really tried to find a niche, and that was where Rock Soul Radio came in, and met up with Rob at the Friendly Tap out of really just a happenstance occurrence. Met him up there, started talking about some of the things that I wanted to do, and he gave me like 50 CDs of all local music to get started with. Said, here, load this up, let's make something happen. And
Awesome.
Rock Soul Radio was born.
That's so cool. So like a sort of collaborative effort on his part of being able to just give you all of that local stuff that people have been like, hey, will you please do something with this? And there's so many bands out there like that we just want people to hear our music more. Like, we get it in the bars, we get it into awesome people like Matt's Hands and anyone who will rebroadcast it. So all you guys sharing and spreading the word of all of us independent music makers. Thank you very much. So moving on. When did you actually get started with Rock to Soul Radio?
I think the official launch of the current kind of playlist and format was December of like 2014. So we're going on 2 full years now. Played around with a few different format options before that, but yeah, we're going on 2 solid years now in December with doing the live broadcasts at the open mics and playing really 99% local independent music from Chicago.
Awesome. What has been like one of your favorite artists to have come through there, or one of your favorite moments of recording out there?
Oh man, there are just so many phenomenal bands out there. I think, and that's where the open mics, every one of them becomes so unique, because you get some of the regular players that come through, but it's those moments when somebody unknown comes up. It's their first time hitting a Friendly Tap. They might have heard about it from a friend, and they get up there and they just blow the room away. There's been so many of those that I just have to stop and I'm like, okay, I hope you realize that this just went out to the world. It rocked, and please tell me you have some of this recorded so that I can get it out there to the masses from the studio format too.
Yeah, that's super cool. So who are some of your favorite artists or influences over the years?
Uh, Locally, I mean, with some of the bands that I've been working with, the Get, I don't even know that they're really together anymore, but they're just one of those phenomenal bands that was a collection of phenomenal artists that all got together to produce an album that was just, it should be charting on Billboard, but nobody's heard of it. So that's, I'm trying to get that out there. As far as general music throughout the years, I mean, I'm a guitar bass guy, and I love Clapton. I love my Beatles. You know, anything that's got that hard driving guitar to it, I'm right there with it.
Hmm. So who's the artist that you don't know if they're together?
The Get, it's Jamie Berthune, Laura Lepardo, Doug Askham, and Matt Walters. They're all still playing in various things, but I haven't seen them play together as the Get in quite some time.
Okay.
So
I met Doug
hoping to see
Askham.
what we can
He
do
was a
about
cool
them.
dude. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool to see. It's cool to see like such talented musicians when they get all together and create something just out of this world phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, and what about some of your artists that you really like right now?
Uh, right now, see, I'm trying to. I've been focusing so much on like the local music. I haven't really even been paying attention to what's going on like the radio. Um, but even the stuff that's coming up right now, I have to give a shout out to somebody that I actually met outside of Walgreens handing out his CDs. And that's where the places that I come across different musicians that are just phenomenal amaze me around here. Guy's name is Warren Harrison. I literally, he ran into me outside of Walgreens, was selling money, selling CDs, trying to get money for food and stuff. Literal starving artist. I popped the CD in my car, and I'm like, oh my god, this is phenomenal. Where did you record this? What are you doing with this? You know, gave him more money than I gave him the first time, and I'm like, we need to get you out there, because it was just some amazing, amazing stuff. And I'd love to actually share it with you at some point too.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. So when do you plan on getting back in at Friendly Tap?
Uh, Looking to get out there at the end of this month, so getting back in that routine of the last Wednesday of the month. Also looking to start doing some stuff from the Out of Space, which is another bar that's opened up just this year, more down in the Depot district of Berwyn, more in the Hart area,
Okay.
and doing some broadcasts from there as well.
Okay. Where is that at?
That is down on 32nd Street. I believe it's like 6840 32nd Street in
Okay.
Berwyn.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, there's like the train stations right there. You know, it's like that's a
Mm-hmm.
for the metro riders. That's a great place to hop on. So.
Absolutely. And that area, the Berwyn residents, we keep trying to make that place grow. And there's phenomenal restaurants that are popping up across there. The Out of Space is a music and art venue. They're doing classes out of there. Just great stuff. And we're just trying to get people to realize that all of the stuff is there.
Mm-hmm. Berwyn is an interesting community. There's a lot of good things. You know, there's some bad things, but there's a lot of people who try to make it an interesting place and try to make it a good community for some of the kids. Like I grew up out there going to the Berwyn Youth Commission, and when I went to it, it was an amazing place. Like it helped me get my roots as an individual, as a musician, and socially and everything. So you know, I gotta commend some of the people out there doing incredible things.
That's awesome. Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything we missed? Anything you want to talk about that we didn't bring up?
Well, one of the biggest things is with running a station that's based on local music. I'm always looking for more music, and that's one of the things that I'm hoping, the connection we have here and getting it out there, the more musicians I can get to submit their music or just reach out to me and say, hey, are you interested in this? Absolutely.
Awesome.
Through the website, through the Facebook page, facebook.com/rocksoulradio. I do a feature every Monday called New Music Monday, where I try to, and if I don't have submissions, I'll even start trolling, some of the CD Baby and stuff like that to try to find more local artists, purchase their stuff and just put it out there. And at 9 a.m., noon, and 3, I play a track off of each of those with a little introduction of what I know about the band, what I know about the CD and that, to try to help introduce people to all of the phenomenal music that's brewing throughout the Chicago area.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing how many artists there are. It's just like you can meet them every day if you follow the like Chicago open mic network and circuit. You could meet new people every day of the week that are musicians and probably be years and never run out of new people meeting them. It's just amazing how many there are. You'll see a lot of the same faces, obviously, but that's one of the great things about open mics, like you were saying, like you just never know who might pop up and what when you might just get your socks blown off.
Absolutely. And I mean, as we were talking about some of the qualities of Berwyn, I was amazed as I started to kind of peel back the layers of the music community in the area and starting to get to know people, realizing that within our relatively small community, we have multiple music education facilities, recording facilities, all of these performance venues, and I'm trying to bring some of that radio aspect to that. Once everything is recorded and all that, we can get it out to the masses too. I mean, there is literally the ability within Berwyn to go from never playing an instrument to having your songs on the air, all within that community. And it's something I don't think people realize is available.
Yeah.
They think they have to go into the city for it. And no, we got it out here in the near west.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it interesting also. There's a lot of house studios that have been popping up more and more. At least maybe now that I'm getting more into it, I'm realizing it. Just tons of individuals who over the years have been recording themselves and recording others and end up with a house full of equipment, and there's something to be said about those places too, because you can get a good quality recording with some of those places. So, you don't always have to go to the big guys and spend your life savings on a quality recording.
Yeah, and I think that's something too, where a lot of those home studios. I mean, obviously finding the right one and working with the right people. Each one of them has such a unique sound to it acoustically that I mean, some of I don't know if you watched that Foo Fighters thing they were doing on HBO where they were going city to city. But even working within some of those places, they were working at these small studios that they had the right sound to it. It wasn't necessarily some big glorious studio, but it had that rough, rugged sound to it that just made the music phenomenal.
Was that the one where Grohl was going found on the Red Line, going place to place out in city?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. If you were losing it. That's pretty cool. It's like a down-to-earth artist. It's pretty dope. So.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so I will definitely send you some more music, and I'll send the word out to all my musician friends, and hopefully we'll get you a whole batch of new music coming in.
That'd be fantastic, and that's one of the things that I'm really pushing for 2017 too, is breaking some of the genre barriers that we've had in place. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've recorded around open mic, and that it all is very guitar based, rock, folk, Americana, and around there. But I want to be able to get out and really represent a greater picture of what the Chicago music scene is. And I know there's wonderful house music scene, there's a wonderful hip hop and R&B scene, and all of this stuff collaborates to make Chicago music what it is, and I want to be able to get a good representation of that across the board.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So I appreciate that. I'm sure that I would say all the real musicians out there working hard appreciate that, and we will definitely send you some of our tracks. I'll send you some of mine, and I'll make sure that some of my friends send you some of theirs, and I just wish you the best, man. Like it's super cool to see people like you out there doing stuff and pushing the underground scene.
I love what you guys are doing to put your blood, sweat, and tears into the music.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on Season 4, Episode 1 of the Piece of Music Podcast.
Truly my pleasure, man.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You have a good one.